What do you do when flu-like symptoms turn out to be something else, something baffling? This is the story of Jane. Jane, an individual as ordinary as you or me, woke up one morning feeling under the weather. She was lethargic, her body ached, and she had a persistent cough. It seemed like the onset of a common flu. However, as days turned into weeks, Jane's condition didn't improve. In fact, it got worse. Her initial doctor's appointment painted a picture of confusion. Jane's symptoms were flu-like, but there were subtle differences that didn't quite fit the typical flu profile. Her fever was unusually high and her cough was more severe. The doctor, puzzled, ordered a series of tests to get to the bottom of this medical conundrum. The first round of tests included blood work, flu swabs, and even a chest x-ray. These are standard procedures when dealing with persistent flu-like symptoms. Blood work can reveal signs of infection or inflammation, flu swabs can confirm or rule out the flu virus, and a chest x-ray can identify issues like pneumonia. But everything came back normal. The flu swabs were negative. The blood work showed no signs of a severe infection, and the chest x-ray was clear. Jane, despite feeling miserable, had no clear diagnosis. She was sent home with some general advice: rest, hydrate, and take over-the-counter medication for the symptoms. But Jane's condition didn't improve. She grew weaker, her cough more persistent, and her high fever showed no signs of breaking. Her family watched, helpless, as Jane's vibrant personality was replaced by a shell of her former self. Their concern grew with each passing day, as did the questions. What was happening to Jane? What was this mysterious illness that was clinging to her so tenaciously? And so, Jane found herself back in the doctor's office, her symptoms more severe than before. It was time to dig deeper, to look beyond the surface. Because it was becoming clear, this was no ordinary flu. As Jane's symptoms worsened, it became clear that this was no ordinary flu. Differential diagnosis, epidemiological investigation, these may seem like jargon, but in Jane's case, they were crucial. Let's demystify these terms, shall we? A differential diagnosis isn't a single test, but rather a methodical process doctors use to identify a disease or condition. The doctor starts with a list of possible diagnoses, the so-called differential, and through observation, questioning, and tests, they systematically rule out possibilities until they arrive at the most likely explanation. Let's imagine the differential diagnosis as a detective story, where the symptoms are the clues and the diseases are the list of suspects. In Jane's case, her flu-like symptoms were the clues that led the doctors to investigate a list of suspects including influenza, mononucleosis, and even autoimmune disorders. Now, what about epidemiological investigation? It sounds like something out of a spy novel, doesn't it? Well, it's not quite as cloak and dagger, but it's still fascinating. Epidemiology is the study of how diseases spread and impact populations. An epidemiological investigation looks at factors like where a patient has been, who they've been in contact with, and their personal health habits. It's like mapping out the journey of a disease to find out where it started and where it might go next. For Jane, an epidemiological investigation involved tracing back her steps, looking for any possible sources of infection. Did she travel recently? Did she come into contact with someone who was sick? These are the kinds of questions that could provide valuable clues. The process of differential diagnosis and epidemiological investigation is like piecing together a complex puzzle. Each test, each question, each observation is a piece of that puzzle. But like any good mystery, the solution is rarely straightforward. In Jane's case, every piece of the puzzle seemed to lead to more questions, more possibilities. With every test, the medical team was hoping to find answers. But Jane's case only seemed to get more complex. From blood work to PCR tests, from radiological studies to biopsies, Jane underwent them all. As we delve into this labyrinth of medical diagnostics, let's break down each test, unveiling their purpose in layman's terms. Firstly, blood work. This is the body's tell-all book, holding secrets to many underlying conditions. Jane's blood was drawn, spun in a centrifuge to separate its components: red and white cells, platelets, and plasma. These were then scrutinized for any anomalies, from abnormal cell counts to markers of inflammation. Next was the polymerase chain reaction, or PCR test, a super sleuth in the world of diagnostics. A simple swab from Jane's throat was all it took to seek out the DNA or RNA of potential infectious agents. Amplifying minute quantities of genetic material, this test can detect even a single bacterium or virus in the body. Radiological studies, too, came into play. Using X-rays, Connecticut scans, and MRI, the team peered into Jane's body, scanning for any structural changes or abnormalities. These tests, like silent observers, offer a glimpse into the body's inner workings, from bone health to the state of vital organs. Lastly, when all else seemed inconclusive, a biopsy was performed. This involves extracting a small tissue sample from the body. Jane's biopsy was like a microscopic detective, investigating the architecture of cells, their behavior, and any signs of disease at a cellular level. But here's where the plot thickens. Despite these comprehensive tests, the results were confounding. Jane's blood work showed minor inflammation, but nothing that could explain her severe symptoms. The PCR test was negative, ruling out common infectious diseases. Radiological studies came back normal, leaving no stone unturned. Even the biopsy showed only healthy cells, adding more layers to this medical mystery. Jane's case was like a cryptic puzzle, a myriad of symptoms with no apparent cause. It was a testament to the fact that sometimes, even with the most advanced diagnostic tools at our disposal, we are left grappling in the dark. Despite all the tests, the medical team was still stumped. Jane's symptoms remained a mystery. But the quest for answers was far from over. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into this enigma in our next segment. A dedicated team of medical detectives took on Jane's case, each bringing their unique expertise to the table. In this labyrinth of medical mysteries, it was their collective wisdom and dedication that served as the beacon of hope. Let's meet these guardians of health. First, we have Dr. Anderson, the seasoned internist. With a keen eye for the unusual, she's the one who first suspected that Jane's symptoms were more than just a common flu. Then there's Dr. Patel, the infectious disease specialist, whose vast knowledge of pathogens and their modus operandi proved invaluable. Dr. Liu, the rheumatologist, was there to explore the possibility of autoimmune disorders, while Dr. Kim, the radiologist, provided crucial insights from the shadows and shapes on the scans. And last but not least, Dr. Harris, the pathologist, who scrutinized Jane's blood samples in search of elusive clues. Their brainstorming sessions were akin to intellectual symphonies. Ideas bounced back and forth, hypotheses were built and dismantled, and the air became thick with the excitement of discovery and the weight of responsibility. Was it an infectious disease, a rare virus perhaps, or something autoimmune? Could it be a combination of factors or an entirely new disease entity? The possibilities were as countless as they were daunting. It was a race against the clock, a battle of wits against an unseen enemy. Each member of the team left no stone unturned, their dedication unwavering even in the face of mounting uncertainty. They were not just doctors, they were detectives, scholars, and warriors, fighting a battle not just for Jane, but for the countless potential victims of this mysterious malady. But as the hours turned into days, and the list of ruled-out diseases grew longer, a sense of unease started to creep in. The medical detectives were dealing with a conundrum that was proving to be more complex and baffling than anything they had ever encountered. As the team worked tirelessly, they soon realized they were dealing with something they had never seen before. In the end, it was a race against the clock. Would the team be able to solve Jane's medical mystery in time? Just when things seemed darkest, a breakthrough emerged. The medical team, fueled by their dedication, refused to be beaten by this enigma. Their relentless pursuit of truth had finally paid off. Jane's blood work, PCR tests, and radiological studies, once a confusing jumble of data, began to form a clear picture. In layman's terms, Jane was diagnosed with a rare autoimmune disorder. It was a condition so elusive that it mimicked the symptoms of the common flu, tricking even the most experienced physicians. Her body, in a misguided attempt to protect itself, had been attacking its own cells, causing her debilitating symptoms. The medical team's sense of accomplishment was palpable. Their collective expertise had cracked a case that would have stumped many others. As they shared the news with Jane and her family, their relief was echoed in the room. The mystery was solved, and though a challenging journey lay ahead, there was now a clear path to follow. The resolution of Jane's case was more than just a medical victory. It was a triumph of human determination and an embodiment of the scientific spirit. It was also a stark reminder of the complexities that lurk beneath the surface of what might initially appear to be simple. This journey through the labyrinth of modern healthcare was not just about the destination, but also about the path taken to get there. It was a testament to the power of collaboration, the importance of persistence, and the incredible advancements in medical technology that made it possible to unravel such complex medical mysteries. Jane's case was a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the wonders of modern medicine. In the face of uncertainty, science prevailed. This poignant story serves as a reminder that behind every medical case, there's a human story, a mystery to be solved, and a team of dedicated professionals ready to rise to the challenge.